What's happening, my brothers? Did you miss me? Haven't made any Takis lately. Yeah, Aeroworks, baby. Check it out. So, I'm mad at how much time I put in this thing the last year. And even though the front's all ready to fly, I still got the rudder and the elevator. But that's really it. Like the, fuel tanks and engine and receivers, everything's done. Wings are done. But I worked on the rudder maybe 4 more hours sanding, and now I got big time throw edge both ways, nice and smooth. And even though I had done the other side on the push pull in the lightning hole, you see I cut out the covering there. That was just a lightning hole in the side panel, fuse side. I made that piece to fill it in, and I got to glue all that up. And I got to cover both sides on the patches around where the servos go, and then I got to set up the push pull on the servos, get extensions through, put the covering in the gap seal, and then I got to do the elevators, which I've already got sanded, but they need servos and gap seal. So I got like, a week of nights, 4 or 5 nights. Probably I never should have bought this, like 90% sure, but if it's super fun when I fly it, I guess it'll be okay. But, trying to get it ready for the event in November in Hemet. That, because I think that'll be fun. It'll be fun to have it. So hopefully it'll be worth it. But yeah, probably shouldn't have got it. Then I want to get back to flying this Skywing 104-inch slick because these things are awesome. But I've just been really stoked on the Extreme Flight 104-inch Edge. Like I said, it's the best extra I've ever flown, and that's a pun on or a take on parody on the saying in San Francisco that the coldest winter I ever spent was the summer in San Francisco. And it just has no edge tendencies that I can feel on it all, even with the straight leading edge. Like there's nothing edge about it. It just feels like an extra, which is my favorite plane. And it's so precise. It does even precision rolling circles and all that stuff. But then it's really forgiving. Like when you slow it down and you have like snap inputs in for like an elephant walk or 4-point Harrier rolls, or just your basic 3D even. It just doesn't tend to dart anywhere or go anywhere. It's just stable. And like I've noted in some comments, it surprised me the first 2 flights. I just the way that it looked to my eye, I thought it was going to be unstable. Like I'd put it in a funny attitude where it might snap, and then I'd kind of panic, and there's like get out of it, and people were going, "Oh, you're having a hard time getting used to that plane," which is true. I was, but I just didn't give it a chance, So then, overly paranoid, so on that plane for whatever reason, and then on the third and fourth flights, I just started realizing that that's just you, man. That's not the plane. And then, then since then, I just pretty sure that the plane's locked in, and I just fly it. But I haven't flown this slick or anything else really, because I love that plane. Just want to fly that one. And I feel like I'm definitely getting better and getting the elephant walks figured out, and starting to make them look kind of bouncy the way I think they look cool. And other maneuvers too, and getting smoother on the hair rolling loops and on the exit where I want it. I got a few tips and tricks on that I've been figured out for myself, that help me with those to make those look better. And then the ref rolls feeling more and more comfortable. Didn't feel comfortable at all on that plane, and like on my 114 EF slick, they don't feel as comfortable as on the third scales. 40% is kind of big while they're around. I don't know if they're 40%, but they're 170cc class. And then this plane too felt a little funny at first, and now it's starting to lock in, so I feel like I can start pushing that a little bit more too, and get more maneuvers down. and I feel like, yeah, I'm progressing. That's good because I want to be like have more to showcase in November. I'm really looking forward to seeing Andrew and Mike and Juan and Joe and Chris and everybody at the Vincent, everybody at the November event at Hemet. And but then today I was watching some of the elite guys fly, and I'm like, oh my god, like I was all getting pretty encouraged, because that edge is so good. I love that plane. It's really good for me anyway. It's a good plane for me, and the fact that I'm making some small improvements on things, and it's always nice to be improving instead of stagnant. And then, yeah, I watch the elite guys, and I'm like, oh, jeez, man, they're so busy. They know so many more maneuvers than I do, and then they're so busy with those, just one on top of the other. I'm like, oh, Christ. But, gotta just, calm down with the expectations. And, yeah, it'd be real fun to get this plane ready, to have it there at the event, kind of a novelty thing. And you fun to, see how much better I can get flying, hopefully a little bit anyway, a little more improvement, kind of showcase a little bit more than in prior events and videos, and that would be nice. And then, I don't know, we'll have to make an assessment about all the time we're spending on this stuff. I flew one of these in Minnesota at my daughter's and kind of loved it, and I found one local that had never been flown, so I picked it up. 52-inch extra EPP. I didn't really get to ring it out because it was windy and on a side street in the neighborhood, in Minnesota. But I hope I like it just the same. When I really get to ring it out at the flying field, I hope I really like it. But there's no such thing as a free lunch. And this thing, all the wing bolts were missing, and a servo or two were broken from getting banged around in the people's garage. So, gotta order parts and wait. No such thing as a free lunch. And, oh yeah, and then the guys, Alvin and Chris and Mark, and so Bob got one too. All these guys have these, I don't know the name. They're from Horizon. They're slope soar things, like Credenza. I call them crash endo. Anyway, they all fly formation together, and they always laughing the whole time. So they talked me into it. So I picked that up. Maybe we'll make a video. They all get lost, like. The planes look exactly the same, and they're all small, and they're all going fast together in formation, and they lose which one they're flying. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll make a pilot video. Ball them up. But yeah, I haven't made a talk in a while. That's about it. I don't have any tips or tricks really. And yeah, I got a couple other planes that I want to start flying. I picked up that really low time, just a handful of flights, Sanger 9 Extra 300 from back 9 years ago, and that was my favorite plane at the time. Now I would say it's definitely the Extreme Flight Edge, but that Hangar 9 would be real fun to rifle roll a foot high and tear up, and also just see how it is compared to my memory of how it was. And yeah, I got a bunch of mods I want to do on the pink model power and get it back out and going. Yeah, and a bunch of other stuff needs maintenance. I'm sure you guys all have these same stories. And then, yeah, that November event, and that it sure would have been fun to go to that October fall null. But with the grandkids coming out, probably not going to do that. Grandkids are the coolest thing going, so they're definitely going to win on priority. That's kind of, yeah, that's my update. Mostly I'm just whining about having to work on this thing. And yeah, I really wanted to talk about that Edge. That's a good plane, man. That's a good plane. And I wonder about that extra 260 from Extreme Flight, um, because extra 260s are my favorite, and it does look good flying. And I was watching Mike fly it at Sacramento event, and looked good. And it's like this Extreme Flight or this Skywing Slick here. This thing is huge. This fuse and looks twice as big as they're both 104 inch. This and the Extreme Flight Edge that I'm flying all the time, the red, white, and black one. But it looks like a 50cc next to this thing, and it's the same with that uh, Extreme Flight 104 inch extra 260. That thing's like this. It's real tall, huge fuse, huge cowl, and that's probably a pretty cool plane too. Actually, all my planes are cool, and all these planes are cool, but definitely my favorite right now is that 104 Edge. It's not holding me back. That's all I got to say. Like, I I can. It's pretty easy to try to do the things I want, and I don't feel like ever like I'm fighting the plane. I'm just fighting my trying to teach an old dog new tricks. But even that's still pretty encouraging. Like with that plane, I just feel like I'm coming along. But yeah, like I said, we watch the elite guys not coming along as fast as I would like, and yeah, never will catch those guys. But I'd like to get a little better. Anyway, I didn't even have a point here, but I think I'll upload it anyway. All right, out.